Hello again and welcome back to my channel and part 2 of the installation of my insulated roof panels. Now before I go any further, a big thank you to everybody in the comments section who pointed out about the automatic centre punch. What a huge difference this has made for me, and thank you very much for your tips. Now, at the end of episode 1, we left it with 7 of the 8 panels installed, and the 8th one not being able to go on because I hadn't cut it to size yet. And there was a bit of a dilemma on how I was going to do that. My first idea was to use my little Works circular saw, but when I tried that and I cut a couple of inches, firstly it was taking charge, if you like. It was heading off not on a very straight line, and also the quality of the cut, even with the metal blade, was pretty poor, to be honest. So I actually decided to use my Festool track saw. Now, I am not advocating the use of this because I'm not sure of the actual health and safety implications of it, but I didn't hook up my dust extractor because I thought the little metal shards might cause some problems with that. And I just used a track. I cut the seal inside first, just a few mil in, about 4 or 5 mil in, and it produced a perfect cut. And just with the stock blade, I was getting ready to replace the blade, so I thought, well, I'll try it and I'll see how it goes, and it gave a lovely cut. So then when I turned it over to the trapezoid side, I just used some scrap pieces of wood to bring the track up to level, and then I had to plunge it again quite far down just so I could get to 4 or 5 mil. So the actual depth of the cut on the track saw was pretty deep, but just to give a short cut. And then once I've got it cut on both sides, I just used a combination of a small pulse saw that I've got and also an old kitchen knife, and that cut through the foam fine, which gave me a perfect line and a perfect cut on my final panel. Now, I was so over-analysing how we were going to get this panel up, I actually forgot to film it, so it just went on the same as the others. But this one, with it being the final one, it had to come from the outside over, if you like. So we got it over onto the top and then just secured it in the same way we did with previous ones. So that means we are inside for the start of part 2, because A, it's too dark to film in the workshop because I've got a proper roof on now, and B, it's absolutely chucking it down outside. Which brings us to the majority of this episode, which is looking at installing the flashings or the edges or the trims or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to pick up the story there. Now, before I started to install the flashings, I decided to run a bead of silicone where the joint of the timber meets the actual roof panels. Don't know if that was, you know, you're meant to do that or whatever. I just thought there's an ever so slight, a little bit of, not a gap, but just a little bit of a ridge. And obviously we're trying to avoid any kind of areas where moisture can build up. So I just ran some silicone down there and just to seal it up. And I'm going to do the same on the inside as well. So I'll leave you to the video and I'll see it at the end. Right, we're up on the roof. Got myself one of these little tripod stands. Don't like being up here because I'm scared of heights, but I'll talk you through as best I can. It's going to be bridgeboard on first, on both sides. Now, I've put the first piece up just to have a little look, and it does have the overhang, but if you can see, it is quite a bit of an overhang. I think the idea is to get that nice and tight up to this edge there. I'm going to mark where I'm at. I won't put any fixings in for the first 20 centimetres because the runoff on the back, that's going to go over the top of that. So I need to make sure, I need to put a mark on, I need to make sure I do that. And yeah, just got to get on with it really and see how I get on. Wow. These are amazing. Got myself one of them magnetic heads as well. Brilliant. So much easier, he says. Right, I'm not going to fix any more down. Let's see if we can bring it down here. You can see, yeah. Because I don't know how big the overlap is, so I don't want to put any in here just yet. I'll go and get the other piece, put that on, and take it from there. Okay, yeah. Overlap's about that much. That's no problem. It's looking really good. It is, you know. Right, get some more of these fine fixings in. Right, it's one side done. Not bad that. Very happy. Cup of tea. Then I'll go and do the other barge board side, I think. Yeah, not bad. Boom. Well, I hope you enjoyed the conclusion to the installation of my roof panels. Now, I have to be honest, I was a little bit of trepidation before I started this, but once I got going, I actually enjoyed doing it. The quality of the materials is excellent. Okay, the guys from Panel Cell, if you order in this, just to bear this one in mind, the actual trim, the flashings, it takes about 3 weeks because they're all made bespoke to your building. So you might want to think about that if you're planning ahead and thinking about this roof panel system. A couple of things that the footage didn't really show up, and just to go back to it, once I'd installed all of the flashings, I went back to the barge boards on the side and I put an extra row of fixings in, the small ones, just to secure them down, just in case any wind got underneath and tried to push the panels, the flashings upwards. Secondly, in terms of actually getting things aligned, I was just using a piece of scrap OSB with just some reference marks. And it seemed to work really well, to be honest. Sometimes the simplest solutions are often the best ones. Time-wise, I was working on my own on this, so I'm one arm in this, and it took me a day, which I was really surprised. I thought it was going to take me Friday, Saturday and Sunday to get it done, but I actually managed to get it all done yesterday. I'm feeling it a little bit today, like, but I was, once I got going, I just thought I can keep going here and I can get this finished. And I'm glad I did, because it was a lovely day yesterday and it's absolutely chucking it down today. So that's worked out all right. Now then, I did say I was going to do a costings of this. Now, what I've had a lot of inquiries about this system. I think there's a lot of people interested in it at the moment. So I'm going to do a short separate video. I think obviously it's a very clever solution to something like a garden room or an office studio or something like that. And also, particularly with the cost of timber at the moment, it might seem like a budget alternative, shall we say. So I'm going to look at the actual costings against timber, and I'm going to do a comparison video, hopefully in the next few days, if not next week. In regards to my modular workshop, it's now going to be on hold in terms of video content for a few weeks, because the next stage is to get the electrics in, and I ain't going to be doing that. So I'm going to get a contractor in to sort that out for me, because I have got like the tie-bet wrap to cover it all in, but I'm not going to go doing any of that until I've got some quotes and some contractors to come and do it, because it'd be pointless putting the wrap on for them to say that's got to come off. So it will, I'm going to, I've got some upcoming videos in the next few weeks, but it's not going to be workshop related. So I think that is pretty much it. Oh, I nearly forgot. The roof itself isn't 100% completed. I forgot to install the foam insert thing that go under the monopitch flashing. Monopitch, not on a pitch, from last week. So yeah, I've got to figure out a way to retrofit that. And one final job is to install these rather fantastic fixings down the length of the hooks where the panels join, which involves me getting on the roof. Not particularly looking forward to, and certainly not going to be filming that bit. So yeah, just that, I mean, it's fine as it is. It's just proper belt and braces that, but just for a little bit of extra security and fixing down, I've got to sort that at some point. Please feel free to get in touch via social media or in the comment section down below if you've got any questions about this system. As you well know, I am an enthusiastic novice, shall we say. Certainly not an expert and certainly not in the trade. But if I can help, I will. You know, I'm more than happy to, because as I say, I do think there's quite a lot of people who are considering this system as an option for their own garden rooms. I hope you enjoyed this little mini series within a larger series, folks. As ever, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much.